All right, so our guest is just about ready, but before I bring them on, as always, here with Drinking with the Wolves, we're drinking. We're wolves. Hence, we're drinking with wolves. Now, here on Drinking with the Wolves, we always insist on responsible drinking. If you can't hold your liquor, don't drink it. If you spill it, you better suck it up. And let me pour a glass here for you. Oh, yeah. This is the sound of a $54 bottle of wine. Now, we also highly encourage not contributing to the delinquency of minors. So, for my guest today, since I require all of my guests to be drinking with me, my guest for today will be having a non-adult beverage. But with all of that said, let me get a quick sip right here. That is the taste of expensive. But anyways, let's bring on our guest. So everyone put your hands and paws together for my new guest, Echoic. Welcome in, Commander Echoic.
Hey there. As you just said, I am Commander Echoic, and I have brought a nice glass of water today.
Hey, water is perfectly acceptable. Everyone needs to hydrate. And actually, for the adults listening in, the secret to not getting a hangover is for every 8 ounces of alcohol, 16 ounces of water. That's the miracle cure. So, that's not why we're here, though. Today is all about my guest here, Commander Echoic. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, well, I am personally a bit of a space nerd, which honestly kind of attracted me to this game that we, all collectively play. Let's see. I have a bit of a habit of misplacing things.
But yeah, so we're all space nerds here. I mean, you kind of have to be to play Elite Dangerous. So other than your interest in space, because there's like 6 or 7 space exploration games out there right now. What brought you specifically in to play Elite Dangerous?
Well, so I got introduced to Elite Dangerous for a while. A YouTube channel called Gamtory. They kind of make like wholesome stories about video games and stuff like that. And one of them was about Elite Dangerous, specifically the Dove Enigma and Colonia. And that did spark my interest in ED, but it wasn't the thing that like pushed me into like playing it. It got me interested, but the thing that did was another one of their shorts, which was, well, about Distant Worlds 1 and 2. And and that got me quite interested, but then I saw a comment in, well, the comment section saying, hey, Distant Worlds 3 is going on. And I thought, you know what, I've kind of been interested in Elite Dangerous, so this might as well be the time to do it, to join the expedition. And then, well, I felt a little less motivated when I realized that by that point, the expedition would be starting in a week. And the
Oh boy.
expedition had been, announced months prior, so.
Yeah, yeah. So you picked up Elite Dangerous a week before Distant Worlds 3, one of the largest community run events in Elite Dangerous history. You've come in with absolutely no experience whatsoever. Um, and just went, hey, you know what? I want to take part in this event that is going to take about 3 to 4 months. I That takes balls. I gotta
Yeah,
admit, I definitely wouldn't be doing that. Although my story is somewhat similar to yours. I was looking for a space game to play, and I ran across this thread about a Distant Worlds 2. And yeah, that also drug me into Elite Dangerous. But I did give myself a little bit of time to learn the game and prep and stuff. You, on the other hand, you only gave yourself really a week to try and learn absolutely everything. And over in FleetCom, you ended up making a thread, which I will be honest, the very first time I read your thread, I went, oh dear Lord, it's another one of the new people who wants their hand held through everything. And it actually turned out to not be that. And you've basically been adopted by the entire FleetCom admin team, myself included, but mostly one of the FleetCom admins, Satsuma. So, did you ever imagine coming into this game brand new, creating a thread going, hi, I'm new, teach me how to play the game, that not only would your thread become one of the most popular threads on FleetCom, but would drag in the attention of essentially the entire FleetCom admin and moderator team, as well as several people from the Distant Worlds 3 organization?
I honestly was not really expecting that. I was just kind of, looking for some help. And honestly, I was not exactly feeling very confident about it. I thought, like, oh, what if I don't fit onto one of the carriers or stuff like that? Like, looking back at my original message, yeah, I was so misinformed. Like, I think I specifically remember, like, I imagined, like, the carriers being, like, having, like, small, cramped corridors instead of just one big room with, offshoots for the supplies, the genomics, or I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, I am really surprised that it actually caught on.
Yeah, yeah, and it has been one of those threads where myself as a moderator, I have to read a lot. When your thread first started, and I was like, oh no, no. It was, I saw other moderators, other admins in there. I'm like, okay, good. I don't have to monitor this. It now is to the point where I see that there's a new message in there and I rush in. So yeah, you really have taken Distant Worlds 3 by storm, and FleetCom in general. Yeah, not saying that we actually would, but you have become so much of a favorite. If you asked for a favor and you said something like, hey, ban Michael from the FleetCom server, I may or may not do that.
Hmm.
But anyway, so we're a good month and a half into the expedition. We've made it all the way out to Beagle Point. We sent everyone to their death at Monde de la Mort. Uh, and we've also been to the core a little bit. So, what's been your favorite part of the expedition so far?
Uh, well, there's two of the obvious points being Colonia and Beagle Point. Also, Semotis Beacon, of course, Colonia, because, well, it's Colonia, uh, and Beagle Point because it's the farthest out, quote unquote. Uh, and simultaneously speaking, because it's the actual farthest out. I do specifically remember, like, simultaneously speaking, like, I was like grinding for like 3 days straight trying to get the materials I needed for the FSD injections to actually make it out there. However, I do think like my favorite that I didn't expect from the expedition was definitely Monde de la Mort, with how close that planet is to its a white dwarf star. It is quite a view to behold, and I think that's definitely like the place where I definitely got my foothold onto the actual expedition. I actually did my first and only race there as well with the Great Wall of China. I do want to do more races in the future, but yeah, overall, I think Monde de la Mort is my favorite for, well, the unexpected, and similar to speaking for, well, what I expected from this expedition.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we had Monday as a POI during Distant Worlds 2, and I honestly regret not going and checking it out. From the screenshots that I saw back then and the screenshots and everyone talking about it this time, I really regret that. And yeah, the races are a whole bunch of fun. So all of you out there listening, give the races a try. You'll be surprised at how much fun they actually are. And now that we have fleet carriers joining us during the entire expedition, it's a lot safer to do the races. You're not going to suddenly find yourself 15,000 light years back in the bubble because you took a corner in a cavern wrong and boom, you exploded. But anyways, so is there anything you're looking forward to or hoping is going to happen during the expedition? Because we're almost to the halfway point, so there's still a lot to do.
Honestly, I think one of my hopes for a waypoint is Sagittarius A. Well, we have gone close to the core. We haven't actually gone to like the core, and honestly, it would be pretty cool to see that.
Yes, yes.
Also,
oh, go ahead.
I think 1 to 2 weeks from now, I'll be off of school for spring break, and I definitely want to, try and fly to the next waypoint on my own. I haven't exactly done that yet, and I'm going to be honest. Doing exobiology has been getting a little stale, and I do definitely need a change of pace. So, trying to go to the points of interest on my own, I think, will definitely be a challenge that will hopefully give me the reward I'm looking for.
Yes. I honestly think is one of the things missing from Distant Worlds 3 that we had in Distant Worlds 1 and 2. With the advent of the fleet carriers, there's a lot less jumping that you actually have to do. So if you say, hey, I can't make it for a week and a half, 2 weeks, you just hop on to the fleet carrier and boom, you're at the next waypoint. Distant
Right.
Worlds 1 and 2, that wasn't an option. So we had to jump. And I noticed a few people complaining about the first two waypoints being 13 and 14,000 light years in between the waypoints. That was common with Distant Worlds 2. Our very last two waypoints were 14,000 light years apart. So yes, definitely, if you get the chance, take some time and enjoy the jumping. And tip for you and anyone else out there who's been on the fleet carriers, or just directly going to the waypoints. Don't go directly to the waypoints. Go 500-600 light years up or down on the galactic plane, and then route in. You're gonna find a lot more undiscovered systems, um, because you're off of the galactic plane. Most people just they fly on the galactic plane and that's all they see, and you really lower your chances of finding something really really unique. So spend the extra time if you have it. That's the key thing here. If you have it, jump up 500 light years or down 500 light years and then start heading to the waypoints or to the POIs. You're going to find a lot, especially out where we're out now is honestly not a very well explored area within the game. Most everyone either focuses on the bubble, the core, Colonia, or right around Beagle Point. There's nothing out here. So definitely spend the time to check that out.
Yeah, I definitely think that is something to go and check out. Like, I get why these places aren't exactly as explored as the other areas. Like Beagle's Point, the farthest point out, that's pretty cool. Colonia, a small little bubble of human civilization, that's pretty cool. The core, wow, huge black hole in the bubble where, well, everything happens. But, well, yeah, that means that the other areas aren't as explored. So,
Yep. And honestly, that was part of the reason why in Distant Worlds 3 we chose the route that we did. Is the this side of the galaxy, there's not a lot happening in it. We may or may not be trying to make something happen in it. If you've been paying attention to the in-game community events, it's been so long since I played the game. I'm actually not flying in Distant Worlds 3. I unfortunately don't have the time anymore to dedicate to it. CG, that's what it is. Community goals. We've already had one community goal, and if you paid attention, there were hints that there may or may not be another community goal coming up.
right. Actually, I did see that. Something's lurking out here in the cosmos from our from our recent reports.
Yes, something is lurking, and oh, it has been so much fun watching everyone try and figure out what all you think is going on. So that's my surprise question to you: is what do you think is the mystery and what the next community goal is going to be?
Hmm. Honestly, I'm not quite sure. If I were to make a random off the top of my head guess, I would say maybe some alien species out here, but that's just coming off the top of my head. I would definitely have to look further into the recent messages to make a more well informed guess.
Mhm. Excellent. Well, I do hope that you enjoy everything that we have planned. And so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up to the floor. Anyone else have any questions for our guests? And while we wait for any last minute questions to come in, any last comments?
Well, I remember like I was thinking, what would I do after Distant Worlds free? And I think there's two main things I want to do. Well, in the game. One, I remember seeing from Galanet that there's a species in the bubble that is only found in one star system. And honestly, I think it would be pretty interesting to go and, well, research it once I get back. And two would be doing missions specifically for the Federation, so I gain enough respect for them that I am allowed to, well, head to Seoul. and hopefully not get blown up by well.
Well, yes, there is the soul permit, but there's something so much better when you get your ranking up with the Federation, and that is the best game, is second best ship in the game, and that is the Federal Corvette.
Interesting.
It's a
Oh,
gunship. It's a battleship. It is the ship that carried me during the entirety of Distant Worlds 2, and oh my god, did I get space madness because my jump range was a whopping 40 light years.
interesting.
So yes, definitely check out all of the federal ships. Commander Echo accomplished something I did not. You landed on Monday. My question is that oh yes. Is landing on Monte de la Mort the most nerve-wracking thing you've done in the game, or is there something else?
Hmm. Wow. I definitely do think that Monday de la Mort was very nerve wracking. I would say that I got a little bit too confident after I did the first time. Like, I remember that there was some geologic stuff on there, and I tried to land on it a second time, and I almost got myself, well, melted by the star. But yeah, the first time was quite a bit nerve wracking, I would say. I think another thing would definitely be me collecting stuff for the FSD injections. I was just worried, like, I wouldn't, get enough resources in time. But yeah, I think that would be my answer.
All right. Yes, definitely, Soria. Overconfidence has gotten us all before. I blew up. Fortunately, for Distant Worlds 2, one of the first things we did at the core was creating a station at the core. Yeah, I got a little overconfident with my explosives mining, and I accidentally blew myself up. So yes, it does happen to all of us, and yes, you have accomplished a feat that most people cannot say they have done, including myself, and that is successfully landing and surviving on Monte de la Mort. So cheers to you for that. Um, with that, any other questions out there, chat? Don't be shy. And also anything else for you?
I don't really think so.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing any questions over in the Beagle Bar. I'm not seeing anything else in the Great Hall or in the voice chat. So, oh, wait. Zoria's typing. Uh-oh. It is always either a very, very good thing or a very bad. Oh, there we go. That's a question. Oh, that is a loaded question from Zoria. Which of the official Distant Worlds 3 fleet carriers is your favorite?
Ooh, that's actually kind of a hard question. Hmm.
If you need a very very fast reminder, the fleet carriers are the Odysseus, the Distant Suns, uh, Thimblethul, that's a mouthful, and the Pillar of Krista. By the way, the Pillar of Krista is Zoria's. Chista. My bad. Pillar of Chista is Zoria's. So, which of the four is your favorite?
Well, it would either be the Pillars of Chista or the Distant Suns.
Good, safe answer. I like it. But yeah, and just so that I can ruffle Zoria's feathers personally, I would say, Distant Suns is my favorite. Of course, I haven't seen any of them. I've never been on any of them. I am literally just saying that to ruffle Zoria's feathers because it's fun. All right. Well, let me double check in FleetCom real quick, make sure I haven't missed any other. Nope, looks like that is it. So with that, I want to thank you again for coming out, and hopefully more people will see you around the universe, and I will definitely see you here in the Distant Radio Discord as well as FleetCom Discord. So everyone, give it a big round of applause and thanks to my guest, Commander Echoic.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, Commander, I will catch you later. We still have a whole bunch more to go. So let's get those voices going.